So what was the process it took to get to the pinnacle?
Well, again, coaches are the beneficiaries of everybody's hard work, and if it weren't for the community, the administration, the fans, most of all players and assistant coaches to help make that all possible. And Texas has such great tradition, so many good student athletes. The fact that we've only won 2 basketball championships, hopefully that changes and we win a lot more in the future because the state deserves it.
This to me is so special. Dr. Dumport, I was playing in the college all-star game and I did not have a nickname. A young man named Richard Wood, who played with SC, was called Batman, and his coach was the head coach of the college all-star game. We was having breakfast that morning. In the Chicago Tribune, it's a cartoon character named Dr. Doom. And he sit there and say, Robert, I got a nickname for you. I said, what now? I just want to be Robert Brazile Jr. I want to make that popular. He said, no, this nickname fits you. So Howard Cosell, again, some of you guys don't know who Howard Cosell is. You're going to have to Google this. Howard Cosell is sitting there and he jumps into our conversation. He said, yeah, Richard, that Doom part fits him. And we looked at each other. He said, take the Doom part, D-O-O-M. We couldn't figure it out. He said, therefore offensive means. I said, yes, that's it.
So I was in the backfield with Ricky Williams and Sean Mitchell, and so during my UT days, you know, I was able to learn a lot from these guys. I always looked at what was their strengths and then what was my weaknesses, and so I've always been a student of the game. So I would watch very closely, you know, how they were successful, and I would try to take on some of the attributes that I saw that they would have. So just my career at the University of Texas, I really enjoyed my time there. I did play with that injury and I had to come back from that deficit, but it was one of those things again that you never can judge a person's heart because you can't see it, but the character of a man, I think that's what it definitely epitomized me as far as what I was doing at that particular time for me to come back from such a devastating injury. But I enjoyed my senior year. We beat A&M at that time. I played most of my college career in the Southwest Conference, but my last year we moved to the Big 12, and then for us to go out and win the Big 12 championship was pretty exciting.
Standing there watching the open ceremonies, and this, I guess you would call him archery, he shot the bow and arrow and lit the torch, and it was like, we're Olympians, and that was the most awesome thing, the most awesome experience that you could ever have as an Olympian, achieving those goals such as world championships in football and baseball and basketball, so yeah.
I guess I never expected to be here, and so the thrill of being a part of what you all might come to expect because of all of your success, I never expected for a number of different reasons. It means the world to me because once a Texan, always a Texan. And I live in out of state now, but it was very difficult for me when the Atlanta Braves played the Houston Astros in baseball. And I didn't want to tell my friends in Atlanta who I was rooting for. But my heart is in Texas. It seemed to be all about men, professional sports, especially baseball and football, certainly lots of others, but I thought, I want to do some of the things that they get to do. Maybe it'll be a different arena.
Well, the most I remember was when we played in the playoff in 1980. We was so close to being the World Series. I was close to be the MVP that year. My first MVP, my first World Series. But that's part of their life. I was a little bit lucky. I could be there, but I'll never make it, but I'm glad that I continue being with the Houston Astros, and whatever I don't want when I was a player, I won as a front office guy. I have about 6 rings.